Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a update on the Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell case that is ongoing. There's been a lot of changes going on. I'm just going to start with the FBI. They released new footage and pictures of Tylee holding JJ at the Yellowstone Park, which is where she was last seen. And what's eerie about this is, again, she was seen going to the park, but she's not seen exiting the park. So the reason the FBI are releasing these photos is because they're trying to get more information of her whereabouts, you know, down to the minute that day. And they're also asking for people in the public that might have been there that day, that might have seen them, where she might be in the background of their photos, to please come forth and bring along the photos so that way they could dissect them and see, you know, if there's anything in there that could possibly help. What's really eerie and gives me goosebumps is that when you look at the photo from the FBI that they released two of them, is that Tylee's seen holding JJ and she seems to look really happy, has a big smile on her face, and he seems to be happy, and she's holding him like up in her arms, and it just seems like a typical family outing. So that just kind of gives me the goosebumps. I just don't know where something could have went wrong there, or what is happening if she hid them out there. I don't know how that would be possible. I just keep replaying over in my mind that if she is in a doomsday cult type of thing, religion, whatever you want to call it, and she is hiding them, how could she have hidden them at the Yellowstone Park? That's just what really gets me, because in my like gut and in my heart, I'm praying that the kids are still alive, because everyone has said that she was such a good mom, and even the son said that she was just the best mom ever, just very hands-on, there for her kids. So I just really hope that some way, somehow, that they're still alive. I just don't understand how she could be in the Yellowstone Park alive and just no one would know. That's what's really tough for me. Also, a new update on this case is that two of her attorneys removed themselves from the case, which is very interesting. It makes me wonder if maybe they know something that we don't and they don't want to be part of it. And before this had happened, her attorney actually put a motion in to have the removal of the judge, Mark Means. Now, the attorney didn't give any reason for why he wanted him removed, but it is known that he is in the LDS community, so we're not sure if that has something to do with it, and maybe it could possibly sway his opinion. But the thing is a People of the Times, that is part of her religion, part of the LDS, it's like another branch, is not what all people of that religion kind of believe and how they act and how they think. That's what's like a little bit sketchy and a little bit tricky here, is that not people in the LDS community follow like the same type of way, almost like, you know, extreme Catholics don't follow the same way as Christians, but they have similar beliefs. So that's why it's a little bit hard and a little bit tricky. So I'm assuming that the reason that they wanted the judge removed, and he agreed, he ended up agreeing to remove himself, I think has to do with the fact that he is known in the LDS community. I think too, personally, this is just my complete opinion, I don't think he wants to be associated with, because it's this whole case is just, it's a mess, honestly, and I think he just doesn't want to be a part of it, because it's a lot. I think it's heavy on their hearts. They want to do the right thing, but it's almost like they're kind of held back from being able to do what they want to do. I think this case is hard because she's walking a fine line of doing things wrong, but there being absolutely no proof, no evidence, no bodies, nothing. And I think that's really tough. You know what I mean? I feel like people involved are just having a really hard time, because, you know, they want to see justice, like they want to find out what happened so bad, but you can't obstruct justice. You know what I mean? Like that's what America's founded on. You can't change the rules, you know what I mean, for a different situation. So I think it's really hard, and I'm sure it weighs heavy on a lot of people in this. She does have a preliminary hearing coming up May 7th, but the thing is that she does have a $1 million bond, and I'm noticing a lot of people saying, I'm surprised she hasn't gotten out, blah blah, what's going on with all that. $1 million is a lot of money when you are held for a bond, especially in her case where she doesn't have the best track record of sticking around doing what she's told to do. She almost feels entitled, or like she doesn't have to follow the rules. So I think she's having a tough time getting a bondsman personally. I also don't think she's got it like that money-wise to be able able to post the bond. I know that Chad did get a lot of money when his ex-wife died, but I don't think he's got it like that to be able to pay a $1 million bond. And I think that's honestly what's holding her back from getting out right now. Something else that happened that I seen on this Facebook group that I'm in, where a lot of different family members are in it and things like that, is that Chad was approached by a woman in Hawaii when all of this was going on, when Lori got extradited to Idaho, and she said, just where are the kids, like what's going on? And he said, they're safe, everything's gonna be okay, but they're safe, they're all right. I think it's funny that Lori's in jail and they always kept like a really strong, hard face when asked questions. They wouldn't respond. And now that she's in jail and he was talking to somebody, he responded instantly. I feel like she's definitely the alpha in this relationship. I think she's the ringleader. I think he kind of follows her lead. So I feel like if he's been tight-lipped when she's out and all of a sudden he's not as tight-lipped as before, I'm hoping that maybe he starts to slip up, maybe he starts to talk a little bit more, he doesn't feel as controlled possibly, maybe he doesn't feel as intimidated by her possibly. I'm not sure, that's just my personal opinion. I was doing some research on the People of the Times, which is her religious cult thing that they're into, and I found I was going to add this in my other video, but it was just so much, I wanted to add it into this. What I found about it was very interesting. It was somebody who used to work for Chad Daybell, and what I found out in the video when she told her story is basically that if you're in this cult religion thing, you donate all your money, you donate tons of time, you donate lots of food, and you basically stack up, like you're doomsday prepping a little bit. And she said she spent over $50,000 of her own money, her and her husband, preparing. And she said that basically what you do is you prepare, you just like, you know, tons and tons of stuff. I think she said she stacked up for like, I think she said she prepped for like 3 or 4 years or something like that. But overall they had spent that 50 grand. And she said half of it was like retirement money. I think it was like her 401k or something that she used a lot of it, which is all gone by now. She said, and then basically what happens is you go to church, I think it's Sunday or whatever day that they do. Basically go, and Chad basically says, the Lord's calling on you, now it's your turn to go help and do your job, is what she said. And basically what that means is you would go give all your savings, all your money savings, everything that you prepped over those years, you would put it in the back of a truck, and the truck would drive you somewhere, and then you don't come back. I don't know where you go. I don't know what you do. She didn't say. Thought that was really interesting. And she said that once she started seeing all of her money be taken and given to Chad Daybell and to, you know, the People of the Times and this and that, that's when she stepped back and realized, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, I'm being manipulated. And she said when she first met Chad Daybell, she was in like a really bad place. She was in an abusive relationship, and he kind of almost took advantage of that. She said that it seemed to her that he sought for people who kind of weren't in a very confident mind state, almost so that he could manipulate them. That's what we see a lot of times in cases like this, in child abductions, things like that, all the bad stuff. So it's always people usually trying to manipulate and take advantage of other people. In this really bad state, she didn't have a job, she didn't have anything, she had moved and to get away from her, you know, abusive ex-relationship, and that he took her in, he gave her a job, she was like his assistant, she would answer the phones, things like that. She said it was very weird working for him. She said that he would call her and talk to her and like be a therapist slightly, and that he got her a therapist that was like part of that religion that was in it, and he would overhear, well, not overhear, he would listen to her phone calls, record her phone calls, and then she said that he would use almost like what she thought was in private on these phone calls, he would use it against her almost to manipulate her more. So she said that she basically got to this point of brainwashing to where whatever he said she kind of like trusted, and that's just like terrible. But she said that he would say, you know, people are watching us, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put spells all around the businesses and around the church and around people's homes. So if your internet starts going out, let me know. I'm going to do another spell because, you know, in his mind, he thinks he's like God and things and whatever. So she thought when that started happening, she started being like, this is a little kooky. And she said honestly that the therapist that she would talk to on the phone actually started helping. And as time went on, she started, you know, becoming more confident. As you age, you change, things are different. And she started talking to her husband, telling her husband, you know, I'm not feeling good about this. I think like we should probably get out of this. I feel like we're wasting our money, we're wasting our time, like our savings. Well, they were already very deep into it, and her husband didn't want to leave, and he's actually still into this thing to this day. Her kids are in it, doesn't talk to her. When she left again, she left all of her life savings gone, half of our I think like all of our 401k done, like retirement, all went to that. So she left with nothing, and like I said, her kids don't talk to her. And listening to this interview, to be honest, it reminded me so much of Scientology, just, you know, with different ideas and thoughts and the way of, you know, heavens and whatever. It's just really, really crazy to me. So that's kind of what's been going on with the Lori Vallow update. Right now it's kind of like on pause because, again, I said her attorneys are leaving. They got a different judge. I believe that either her attorneys or someone in, you know, that circle was basically like, well, what about her? Like, nothing bad can happen to her. She can't be risked getting the coronavirus. Like, how are we going to find out where the kids are if she gets it and something happens, or blah, blah, blah. And basically the jails and stuff were like, we're not treating her special. She's no one special to us. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. So that's pretty sweet. I like that she's not, you know, getting treated special, because I feel like in her mind she thinks she's like a god and she's up here and everyone's like below her, so whatever. So I also listened to the whole interview with her oldest son Colby. I had no idea, and I don't know if you guys know this, but when this was all going down and she was about to escape to Hawaii, her oldest son had just had a baby, and I found it really strange that she's willing to go and move away to Hawaii and not speak to her son for like a month or two, knowing that he has a newborn baby. That's just very strange. I feel like that's not something a typical mother would do. And with that, I feel like that just shows her mindset. And he said, like, you know, she was such a good mom. She was so hands-on. She would have died for her kids. In the interview, it's very telling because he even says, like, he could see changes in her of how much she cared or seemed to care. Like, she didn't really talk to him much, and they would go from talking daily to like maybe talking once a week, maybe once a month. What was really telling too is that he said that Tylee was all about JJ. She was all about Colby having an infant baby, like a new niece or nephew, I can't remember, and that she was just super excited. And when he found out that she was being taken away to Hawaii, like, he felt really sad, but he wanted her to be happy. He wanted like his mom to be happy and, you know, things to change because of everything that happened with her ex-husband. He knew that Tylee had seen whatever had went on the day he died. She also said too, this was very shocking to me, and I didn't read this anywhere. I found this out from the interview with Colby. He found out that Charles had died. She lied to him and said that it was a heart attack and not what had actually went down. So that made him very, very skeptical. Like, why would she lie? That's like a very strange thing to lie about. And that's basically why to this day, like, he doesn't trust his mom, which is very sad and crazy. So it's like I was saying earlier, I want to believe that the kids are alive and that they're okay because she was such a good mom. But seeing these changes that Colby has come out and said, just goes to show how much her personality has dramatically changed so quick. So I can't say I would be surprised if something bad did happen to them. I just honestly feel like our only shot of finding out what is going on is Chad slipping up and spilling the beans because he doesn't have that intimidation factor by Lori hanging over him at all times. So I'm just really praying that they're okay. I'm hoping also maybe Lori goes a little bit crazy waiting till May 7th. Hopefully time will work against her and really, you know, mess with her mind and her decide like, I want to get out here, I'm just going to stay where they're at. That would be wonderful. So yeah, this is my second update on this case. It's driving me crazy. I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night because I have dreams about it. I feel like it's because I'm always researching, and like I said, I'm on that Facebook group and I'm always looking to see if anything new is happening, any new developments. It's just like really bugging me because I have my own kids. I don't know, something about it just like really is eating me alive, and I just want to know what happened to them. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope this helps. I'm going to try to get this up today, so who knows, there could be more developments after I post this video. But I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.